Hello and good evening from Germany and from Switzerland. Welcome to the Swis Jon Show. My name is John, and I'm joined by my friend Swis. Swis, hello. How are you doing?
Hello, Jonathan. I am doing good. Um, I hope I'm not doing too much noise. I am eating candy right now.
Candy,
Um,
how dare you? How dare
yeah,
you?
I'm eating Goldbärchen.
Oh, wonderful. The original one in the gold packaging?
Yeah.
Okay, so talking about about gummy bears, we are joined by another person. I'm not sure how that goes. I call him the arrogant prick. The people usually call him Jamie Opulence. Hello, welcome, Jamie Opulence. Good evening.
Hola a todos. Muy buenas noches desde España. I
What?
just
Oh, there we go.
repeated, I just said, like, hello, good evening from Germany, like your bullshit that you come up with. I just copied you. I don't know about gummy bear. That's not appropriate.
Well, last time I see you, you carried quite some weight around.
Ah, okay. Gummy bear? That's usually appropriate for persons without teeth.
Okay.
Really? Okay.
I don't see that way to be honest. That's a new interpretation.
Uh-huh. Regardless, yeah, let's get on with it. Let's not hang around on that one.
Yeah, very good. Yes. So I apologize for the clickbait. We were trying hard to get Benjamin Chi on. For him, I think it's 3 or 4 o'clock in the night. I tried to wake him up with messages. He told me that he may join us. Maybe he still will join us. He has the link. So we are waiting for our esteemed guest. And I know that it's difficult for him to stand up in the middle of the night. So fingers crossed that he's going to make it. But I think we have quite some topics for tonight. So Jamie approached me during the week and asked if we could make a Patek Philippe show about the Tokyo exhibition.
That's not true. You approached me. Yeah, it was the other way around.
I'll take the screenshot and just post them up. So
No. You approached me. I didn't approach you.
Well, I remember it differently, but that is maybe my age.
Yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
Tokyo, obviously the Grand Exhibition, Patek Philippe. They do this every sort of 3-4 years. The last one being Singapore. The one before that, I think, was London. And yeah, there's been some phenomenal pieces that have come out of Tokyo. So I guess that's going to be the focus, or the main focus, to look at some of these watches.
Yes, and the entire theme is in plum color, which we will go a little bit later on. So I don't have many pictures of how it looks like when you enter there. I've seen a very fancy building. One second. No, I've seen a fancy building inside of Shinjuku in Tokyo, but I don't find the picture, of course, now. Do you have a picture how it looks like from the outside, Jamie?
I've got an array of images of which you will see. Yeah, you will see some of the bit. Do you want to see that first?
Yes.
As an example, okay. Let's.
Maybe you have a picture ready. How it's.
I do. I have one right here. You can see my screen.
1 second.
Okay, let me.
Here we go.
So, this is so as part of the research for this evening's discussion, I looked at some of the hashtags around. So this is Instagram, looking at some of the hashtags surrounding this event. So this is a girl's post, obviously at the venue. So yeah, that's about as best as I can give you in terms of the building right now. This is about as best as I can give you, simply for not being so prepared. But yeah, you get the picture.
Yep. So I think admission is free of charge, if I'm informed correctly.
Yep. You just got to register.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to have you have to register in advance. How long is that running? Do you know?
Oh, mate, it's ending 25th of June in like one day tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah, so it's 10th of June to the 25th,
mhm.
50 days.
Yeah, and our man on the ground, Marcelo, was already there. No, he's
Yeah,
not our
yeah.
man on the ground, but I think he made some
He's
pictures.
been and he said he was gonna go back again, and
Mhm.
this time he was gonna capture photos and videos. So I really hope that in the next week or two he'll put a video out from that trip. That would be great for us to see.
So about the exhibition, I think the exhibition is divided into three different topics. So the exhibition shows some new Patek Philippe models that are designed or designated particularly for the Japanese clients. That is one pillar. The second pillar is a craftsman exhibition where Patek Philippe is flexing again their muscles of what kind of craftsmanship they are able to do. And then they are showing some heavy hitters out of their museum.
Yes, and I've read this is the largest number of items that have ever left the museum.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Why
So
haven't you been to Tokyo then?
what for this event?
Yeah.
There's a reason. I made a promise about a year ago to my daughter that because she's desperate, like dying to go to Tokyo, and I promised her I won't go without her. So
Mhm.
we're actually going to go next summer to Tokyo and then to Seoul in South Korea. So that's why I can't get away with it. That promise can't be broken.
Mhm. Okay. Swiss, do you have any remarks so far? You've been very silent.
Oh, so far we have been talking about the building, talking about the event, but what about we talk about the watches?
Very good idea. So I'm trying to pull up the Hodinky article that showcases the highlights, the models of this exhibition, and maybe we start with those two.
Yeah, I found out the world time with the date, the color.
Yeah.
The color, there's no sort of real actual tie to Japan in terms of that plum color,
Mhm.
but it is the color scheme of the exhibition.
Yes.
That's why they've released it in that color.
Yeah, that is this color scheme here of the entire exhibition. So maybe we see a new trend color. There have been already speculations about that. And you will see that first watch that we're going to talk about. That is the new world timer here, the Patek Philippe world timer. And maybe Swiss wants to tell us what is so special and new about this particular watch.
Yes, of course. Putting me on the spot right there. So,
if you're not ready for that, just let me know then.
yeah, I'm not ready, but I can have a few comments about it.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, obviously the dark purple, in my opinion, this looks more like an eggplant color.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That eggplant dial, which I think works surprisingly well with the white gold. It's white gold, yeah?
Yes,
Yeah.
as far as I know, yes.
Yeah.
It's a G. Yeah, G.
It works very well with the white gold case. Also, I think they have a new set of hands, or is it
yes? Well,
an older one?
They have this
No.
kind of handset already in the minute
Yeah.
repeater.
So
All right.
so what's new is they've added the date complication. This is the first time Patek have done a date on
true.
a world time.
And it is quite clever to have put a radial date like on the rehaut. So it really utilizes space very well.
Yeah, and also Swiss. You see at 12.
Yeah.
The Japanese flag so it's white with the red dot, the red spot in the middle. So ordinarily on a world time from Patek they would have the sun there. which is obviously midday. So they put the red dot, which is just
The
beautiful.
rising sun.
Yeah. And then of
All
course
right.
Tokyo's in red.
It's the flag of the country. It's not like a pimple or something.
Yeah.
We have Patek Philippe here in the house.
Non, c'est Swiss Iggy Opulence. Salut et bonne journée du Canada.
Fuck you.
Swiss Iggy Opulence.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir. It's not evening, but yeah. What's happening, boys?
Well, we're just trying to pull our
Is-
teeth around that. camera.
Is the case the same as before, or has the
No.
case changed?
It's
No,
different.
they
Case
changed
is
the lux
different, yeah.
and everything. Yes, the case is now 40 millimeters. So it's also had increased with size because you have that additional ring for the date display. So it's a little bit larger than the usual world timer as well.
Is it the same like 240 HU movement, or is
Yes,
Yeah.
it is the same movement. Actually, I've seen a picture of a rendering of this part. Here you can see. Here you have a comparison of the traditional model and the new one. So you see different lux and everything.
Well, that's a
That's
51.
nice. I like it.
That's a 5110 versus.
That is the very old one. Yes.
Yeah.
So 1 second. Here we have we have the movement, and this is a rendering, I guess. But from the look of it, it looks a little bit a higher level of finishing than usual.
I don't know. I cannot see. There's a big fat Patek Philippe logo on
No,
front of
that is a Grand Seiko logo, actually.
it.
Well, just in case you didn't know it was a Patek Philippe, right?
Yeah.
Let's not be overly critical because that is usually my part, and Patek Philippe is gonna get hurt. So I think we should be a little bit cordial towards our guest and just point out the positives, and then we can
Wait, no, there is one negative I have to point out. If you go back to the previous photo where we can see the entirety of the watch.
Why are you doing that with me? Hear that one?
No, where you can see the entirety of the watch.
The entirety?
Yes.
What do you mean with the entirety? The entire watch. Are you talking about the leather strap?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nice, the stitching.
That one. So I think that purple stitching, maybe it came from a good heart, but this really sucks. It really does not work with the glossy alligator black strap. that
Please,
comes with it.
not another stitching discussion.
It really. If I was gifted this watch, I would say yes, but I would have to change the strap.
Swiss, we have our standards. Are we really going so low now to be anal about the color of the stitching?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Of course.
I'm shocked. I made a show with Patek Philippe or Tanzil a little bit earlier, and I put out. I don't think that strap is black. I think that is also a kind of
no. That's gloss black. I don't see any plum in this. Like,
you know what? I think it's black polished colored.
Black polish. Yeah.
Okay, so that was my little critique.
So Swiss, what I pointed out was if you see the handset on this one, every single iteration between the 5110, 5130, and then the 5230 had a different handset. But it seems like they kept the hands from the 5230 and transitioned it into the 5330, which is interesting that they didn't change it. So it seems like they're happy with this handset that they have, which I think is the best of the three. But
I think they look nice. Why would they change it?
No, I agree. It's just, they changed it from the 5110, which I thought was a better handset than the 5130, the one we talked about earlier, John. But
yeah, it's also reminiscent of a very old pocket watch that they made, which we've been discussing already. And now I'm trying to find the picture, of course, which will be hard.
I don't. I cannot see clearly. Is the bezel flat or bezel is flat? Is flat, yeah.
Yes, yeah. So it's angled,
Mm.
but it's flat. It's not
Yeah,
concave or
it's not
convex.
concave or
Beveled?
convex.
No.
Was it on the previous model?
I
That
think
is
it
some-
was. I think it was the same from what I remember.
Was the same?
Yeah.
Hmm.
The lugs are different though. This is the two-step lugs that they're using.
I think the lugs look really nice.
Yeah, they're
And
starting to use.
usually I'm not a fan of two-step lugs or multi-step lugs, but
Mhm.
right there it looks really good.
Yeah, they did a three-step lug on a perpetual, and then the two-step lug they have it on the 5212. So it seems like they're keeping this design for a couple of their case ships, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah. The only thing that I don't like is you see, for the date, what is the material of that hand? Is it like a perspex?
I
Or
think
is
it's glass.
Mm.
It's a
Okay.
kind of crystal.
It looked transparent. Yeah, it looked transparent.
I think that is a neat idea because let's be honest, the dial contains a lot of information, and so it can be really a mess. And
Yeah.
I applaud Patek Philippe actually for having that hand in a transparent color in order not to confuse the entire image even more.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
gonna get Mookie to run a video clip of you congratulating and really giving compliments to Patek Philippe is like
Yeah.
a compilation, and then we'll put it out to the internet.
Yeah.
Just for you, Higgy.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with me in the last couple of days. I have no explanations and I have no excuse for that. So we were talking about those hands, and we've been discussing this particular article about enamel dials, and I'm talking about this handset that is used in an old pocket watch by Patek Philippe, and in my opinion, that is reminiscent of the hands that we just see now on this world timer. What do you think?
Sure.
Yeah, you can see the resemblance, but a bit more sharper.
Even though
Yeah.
today on the enamel world times they use a different set of hands.
They use the one from the 5130, the old one.
1 second, I just received a message. Oh, Ben is just sending me a message. I don't think I can stay awake. So yeah, we're sending him good night and talk to you later.
Absolutely.
Later. I hope that you're watching the show. Okay.
So I have a question.
Yep.
Since this is the quote unquote Tokyo edition, so are they going to be only available through the Tokyo boutique?
No, you can get them at regular retailers as well as Japanese boutiques, but there's only 300. No. You can get them all over the world, but they're 300
Really?
limited. Yeah, because America was talking about it on our stream where he tried to reach out to his retailer in the States, and they were already sold out.
Okay.
Wait, so if you're a big Tokyo collector and they make a Tokyo edition and you can buy it in the middle of nowhere, does it really make
Manchester.
sense? Manchester.
Well, they have
Yeah.
other. You're going to see there's other Tokyo editions that are a little bit more special than this one too, right? So
Yeah, but I mean, this is like the forefront of the release. It's the important one.
So yeah, one more important point is that center of the dial is with a guilloche pattern, and they are making 300, and price should be 70,000 Swiss francs plus tax. And one question that we've been discussing earlier: will that be the front runner of a normal release without Tokyo context, probably with a silver colored dial? So will the world timer now change into a world timer date?
Right. First of all, that is so expensive. I remember it. Am I stupid? But I remembered like 2 years ago I was looking at the Patek boutique, and the regular world time was like 30 something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Swiss, think about
How
it.
is this 70 now?
Well, the platinum 5230 is like 70 grand US. So, like, they're talking about this being 70,000 Swiss francs. It's probably just because it's a limited edition. So that's why.
So yeah, but I think it's a good question that Swiss is asking, because that world timer is going now up and up and up. So is there room for a non-date version, maybe for around 40, 45, or will they scratch that and go now full blast only with the date?
I don't think that they're just going to make a date for a special edition, right? They named this the 5330, which is a successor, or should be a successor to the 5230. So I could see this being a full production model, but this one just being more expensive because it's a limited edition of 300 guilloche dial. Like it's maybe they make a standard version that's a little less intensive in terms of the workmanship going into it, and it's just a cheaper model. Because, like I said, the platinum version of the previous model is the same price as this, and there's no way they're upping the price that much. I don't think.
So you think that in the future we will only see world timer dates then? Or?
I think that's what they might transition it to. Yeah.
Well, from all the articles that I've read, they put some true effort into the fact that that date is connected to the world timer ring. So if you adjust to a different time zone with that button at 10, that date changes back and forth.
Wow.
Depending on how you set it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Okay, so I think we're done with the plum color. Should we move on? So
yeah, let's go.
The next one that they introduced is here, the so-called quadruple complication.
So what are the 4 complications? I can see chronograph, perpetual calendar, split second,
minute repeater.
Oh, minute repeater.
Minute repeater, yes. You missed the most important part.
Wow.
That's the wrong one. So in the new design for complicated watches, I think Swiss, you're gonna like the hanging ball sack moon face, like I say.
I would rather have it
the other way around.
Yeah, the other way around. Maybe they thought it would be like too crimped in between the 2 big subdials. Yeah, no, overall I think it's okay, even though I generally do not like those 3 little apertures on top to display the date. I really like the case with those opened lugs.
You mean the 1159 lux?
Yeah. I think this looks really nice. That bezel looks so thick. So
but it's concave. Thick. It's concave.
Yeah, this one is concave. Yes. Do we know the overall size of the watch? It's like 40 something, 41, 42.
42.
I would guess.
42.
Yeah, 42. So that's it's a big boy watch.
Certainly, yes, but it has a couple of complications, so I think it's well justified. Jamie, do you have any wrist shots of this particular watch?
Quite possibly. Let's have a look. To hand, I don't, but I will be able to find something. Just bear with me.
Okay. So yeah, I really like this watch. I like the combination with salmon dial and white gold case. It is white gold, or is it platinum? I think it's white gold.
I don't know, but the salmon dial with the blacked hands and indices works really well.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
My main pet peeve is here, that little window, that aperture where the date is displayed, because those empty spaces that fill the gap are
Yeah.
I think it
somehow
might be
ridiculous.
I think it might be platinum. It looks like there's a diamond right at the bottom. Not
Is it
sure.
a
It looks
diamond
like
or is it an
it looks
I
like
don't
adjuster?
know.
a pusher. I
Pusher?
think
It's a
there's no
pusher, yeah.
diamond.
Yeah, it's a pusher. The reason why they don't put like the moon phase up top is it was controversial when they did that before, where they put Patek Philippe at the bottom. A lot of their collectors hated that they would push the logo not from the top but at the bottom. So that's probably why they stuck to this consistency, because a lot of their collectors hate it when the brand is at the bottom for some reason or another.
I think Swiss is not moaning about the position of the moon phase. He would just prefer it the traditional way round.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he said he wanted it at the top, because if they
No,
do
no, no,
that-
no. Keep it in the bottom, but upright, not upside down.
Ah, yes, okay.
But if you rotate it 180 degrees, then it would be like squeezed in between those two subdials. So maybe they thought it was just a better design overall, like that.
That is a chunky monkey. Here, have a
See,
look at that.
it looks like those monkeys with the big eyes that's smiling at you.
You know that big bezel shows that they put a module on top
It's so
for the
thick.
perpetual calendar.
God damn! Imagine how heavy that, dude. Look at that. That is crazy.
I hope that we
Yeah,
see one day that on the wrist.
And this is this is a platinum. It's 5308P.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing, and thanks for correcting us. Actually, I like the oh, 1 second. I like the fonts of it. It reminds me a little bit of the Paul Newman Daytona of the subdials. Have a look at that.
Eh?
Here, have a look at the fonts of the subdial. I think that is very similar to the Paul Newman Rolex chronograph.
The
Or am I
Singer
crazy?
dial. The Singer dial.
Don't you see some similarity?
I do.
Okay, I don't, but I trust you guys.
So Jay Gray Sweater says dust magnet lux. Yes, but I'm pretty sure if you own this particular watch, I think that is 700, 800,000 probably. You have somebody to clean that. Original OC says, great panel, love the hollow lux, and also like the 1159 lux, which are similar. I think that is a trend that we can't escape, and that is.
But hey, isn't it crazy that they not only copied the 1159s with those lugs, but also with the fact that they so it's not, I don't think it's on this one, but what was it called, the skateboard Patek?
Yeah, the bitumen dial. Yeah.
Yeah, this one, it has the lugs that are attached on the bottom, and so there is like a groove in between the, oops, excuse me, between the lugs and the case, which allows them to have the clou de Paris all around
all
it.
the way around. Yes,
And it was first done by Audemars Piguet with the code 1159, where they have their hollow lugs that are attached on the bezel, and
I
so
think
they
those-
can remove the bezel. It
I think those are double attached actually. Here you can see
yes,
it.
this is why I said I think it is not the case here, but it just reminded me. I'm sorry, I have someone is calling me.
No problem.
I'll be back.
Yeah, so apparently those are attached at the top and at the bottom, which is a little bit of differentiation from code 1159 and the previous one. Everybody silent here. What's happening?
We're in awe.
serious watch.
We are in awe.
Do you know a price of that, Tanzil?
If you got to ask, you can't afford it.
Yeah, probably yes. Yeah, it's always the same stereotypical
price of font request.
Okay, so let's move to the third heavy hitter piece, which is a World Timer minute repeater in rose gold, and it also has a cloisonné dial with the city map of Tokyo here in this particular piece. I'm hearing that there are pieces also available with the city map of Osaka and other cities.
Oh, that's cool. This also has a design that Swis was talking about with the Clou de Paris with the hollowed out lugs, right? But it goes all around the side.
1 second, I'm trying to emphasize that. Yes. So that was attached from, but this also looks like it's attached on the bottom and on the top. Or am I missing the gap?
Nah, Germans trying to figure out Swiss engineering is.
Yeah, that's going to be difficult. Yes. So that is the just like the standard minute repeater 5513. That is 5513? No, 53.
Which one you're talking about? The
minute repeater World Timer cloisonné 50.
I don't remember the reference number, but you're talking about
the one with the sailing boat.
Yeah, the steamboat.
Yes, exactly. It's the one with the
exactly.
sailing boat. Let me check because
Lake Geneva.
Yeah, 5531. That is the reference number, and usually normally it comes with a Geneva sailing boat, and this is now the Japanese edition. I think the standard version of the other watch is like 550 to 600,000, and just recently one sold for 1.2 million. So that is instantly, if you're having the privilege of getting access to one of them, that is a no-brainer.
The standard one is white gold. This is now what, rose gold?
The standard now is white gold. It used to be rose gold, but now it's white gold. That's correct, yes.
Mm.
But previously, before they introduced the white gold at Watches and Wonder, it used to be rose gold.
Yeah. So I love as well sorry, Tam, I was just going to say, I love the way that they label the different cities on the city ring, and it's like their own little box. I like that, the way they've done that.
I was just going to point out to Higgy that Rio seems to be missing from the Patek City rings, right?
Dang.
Looks like got Buenos Aires, right?
Mm-hmm.
But no Rio.
Yeah, it's a fair point. I don't know why they chose this configuration. I guess that it's just a matter of different tastes. To me, Rio would be my preference, and that is how I chose it.
Yeah, because other World Timers, they had like, they have Rio, like in the 5110, they had Rio there between South Georgia, and now they have Buenos Aires, or B Aires there. Would you have preferred it just saying Rio, or do you like the B. Aires for Buenos Aires?
Well, it's the same question that we had with Rio de Janeiro, because Rio was too short and we couldn't spell it the entire way. So we had to find a common ground to make it possible, and I think that's exactly the same. I think people were going after me for shortening San Francisco as well.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah.
So people could say, what is Baires? So yeah.
Well, it's interesting because they put like L Angeles, right? So Los Angeles like that. But before, interesting, the old school World Timers would put like California. They wouldn't even put Los Angeles. They'd just put California on them. And then even in the old times, like New York, they would have multiple cities for the Eastern time zone. They'd have, in the old Pateks, they used to have Montreal and New York in the Eastern time zone, where now it's just New York, for example. So it's just interesting to see how the cities and their influence and importance in the world has changed over time, and how the manufacturers are picking different cities now for the dials.
Wasn't there a World Timer, Patek Philippe World Timer with Melbourne on it?
Yeah, I think back in the day they had, I think Adelaide was on it back in the day. So maybe there's a center of influence that was different. Like, for example, Canada, in the early 20th century had more influence, I think, globally, and probably with the buyers at Patek Philippe than they do today. Hence the dropping of Montreal from the Eastern time zone and just keeping New York, because New York was always there, but it used to be Montreal and New York in the Eastern time zone, but now it's completely dropped. And like I said, Los Angeles is now, California to Los Angeles, and I think Anchorage, or in that area between Midway, Hawaii, and Anchorage, I think that was like Klondike or something back in the day. If you look up a vintage, if you ever look up a vintage like world time from Patek, you'll see different city rings. Around there.
And that is also a collecting field, because they made different variants depending on which region they
even OC prefers like California to Los Angeles, or L. Angeles there, right?
So here we have the grandmaster of the world timers, and here you can see Klondike and Tahiti, Samoa.
Yeah, so you can see here you got Klondike, like we described, California, and then you got Mexico and Denver together, Chicago for the Central Time Zone,
Calcutta. Wow,
that is 2523, correct?
Yeah, 2523.
Yeah, and so you see, if you go, you see Singapore, Calcutta, Saigon, which is different. Beijing's old name, and then you got Adelaide as opposed to Sydney. Oh no, Sydney's there. Adelaide has a different time zone, I guess. Back, I asked Archie this, but I don't know if Adelaide has a different time zone anymore than back in the day.
Yeah. So I'm pulling up an old question, America. Not sure if this has been replied to. What is the complication here? I think he's talking about the quadruple complication here. So let me summarize that up. So we have here a chronograph, split time, perpetual calendar, a minute repeater, and what is the fourth? We have a chronograph and then the split second chronograph. I think those are the two complications, correct? Or did I miss
so
out?
You have so you got your perpetual calendar, you got a rattrapant, you got minute repeater, split seconds, chronograph, perpetual calendar. Yeah, and exactly. I guess they're counting the split seconds as two complications. So
yeah, you can see the minute repeater here. Oh. Can somebody I'm not showing the pictures up here? Amateur hour, and Swis is failing badly, so I'm here running like a dog. So here you can see in the middle that lever for the minute repeater.
Yeah, so they are counting the chronograph and the split seconds of the rattrapant as two different complications.
Okay. So should we pull up the ladies' watches, or should we skip them? I think we should skip them. Tanzil,
it's good to just show them.
Well, do you have pictures?
I'm a sucker for. I've got an array of pictures.
Do you have pictures of the ladies' watches, or of the minute repeaters in real life?
Yeah. So let me share my screen. I've got a couple of pictures here.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you.
Go. Have a look at that.
Oh yes. Here you can see the difference in size. On the press pictures, it was quite unclear because they looked the same size. So you also see a plum color, kind of. Both with a manual.
It's more pink or lilac.
Yeah, probably lilac. Yeah. And there was also, I read somewhere they introduced a moon phase, ladies, but I could not see that.
Did they do a handicrafts for the exhibition?
Oh yes. Let's
check it out.
Look, mate, this one is the crown jewel of the exhibition. Let's get. So they had a whole demonstration. So I was talking to Marcelo. You had people working, with wood. They had with the enamel, and that would have been incredible. The guilloche, people doing the guilloche, that would have been incredible to actually to see. But yeah, this one I'll find a better picture. But that one is the crown jewel.
Wow, that's really nice.
This one.
Oh, they did it's an ellipse.
Yep.
Yeah.
Interesting.
An ellipse cloisonné with a starry night sky.
That's
very
fucking
Japanese.
nice, man.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Snowfall. Yeah, and look at the blues, the way it just merges the different shades.
How
You
to
should
make
pull up-
the ellipse more interesting?
I was gonna say you should pull up America's comment.
1 second. Okay. Well, I understand where he's coming from. Looks like a Saxonia thin, a little bit. Here, an old world timer with no. Can you go back, because those are the Teletubby crowns. Look, Jamie. We've been discussing the slim crowns on my BCHH world timer for hours, and this look is what Benjamin G was trying to avoid.
Yeah, but it also needs to be functional. So you can avoid it as much as you want, but if it then becomes unfunctional,
it works.
That's not okay.
You have a workaround with that. So
Yeah.
I managed to work around. It is more a problem for people who don't own it than a problem for people who really own it.
Yeah.
So what I really liked are those desk clocks. Are we going to see those desk clocks?
Oh yeah. We need to find those. The dome clocks, but they also brought out a new clock, which just sits on the desk. I've never seen that before.
They made those earlier. I've seen older exhibitions, and they made those kind of flat domed clocks also in earlier ages. What I find interesting with those dome clocks or desk clocks is people say that they're quartz, but they aren't. They have a mechanical movement, and they are wound then electrically. So they have a battery, but the battery is only used to wind them up.
Right. So it's the quartz, the battery's powering the movement.
Yeah, it's battery powered, but it's not it's not quartz.
Do we lose Swis?
Swis is having a phone call.
Yes, okay.
So
here's the
here's the moon phase.
one.
Yes, with the diamonds. Now I remember that. Yes, they presented a moon phase with a double or triple diamond bezel.
And is this specifically for Tokyo?
Yes,
for the Tokyo. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I haven't got any pic. Can you see my? Let me share this screen, because I should be able to show you the dome clock from here.
I have pictures of the dome clock here as well.
Oh, let's go with your one.
1 second. Okay, so here Rob Report made a very good report about the Patek Philippe exhibition, and they showed quite some of the items. So, for example, those dome clocks they introduce with those Japanese numerals. They call it the calligraphy clock. That one here is very beautiful, in my opinion. Looks a little bit like the kimono of Japanese women, and you can see some geishas there. So those are the dome clocks. They have a mechanical movement, and they are wound by an electric motor. And you're talking about those pebble-shaped desk clocks, correct?
Correct. Exactly.
So I was researching the New York exhibition, and they made those kind of clocks there as well. They introduced them as well.
Wow, that's just incredible.
Yeah. So cloisonné, not only on the dial, also on the case, which is really nice.
But do you know what's the most frustrating part is, how does one access this type of clock, the dome clocks? What is the route to get one?
Yeah, well, I think if you have to worry to receive a minute repeater cloisonné dial, you don't have to worry about those.
Looks like an ashtray.
Very expensive ashtray, I would say.
Yeah.
You know, those little markers here just give you an orientation where up and down is. So, but I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
So here I find this pocket watch really exceptional because that is the what is the name, marqueterie. So those are little pieces of wood that they cobble together to make those motifs. Is Tanzil still with us?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. So I find that.
Well, I mean, Jamie was asking about, I don't know if the question was around getting access to rare handicrafts or just the clock itself, but I remember I looked into this and somebody told me that basically it's easier to get a 5204, which is the split second perpetual chronograph, than even getting, you remember the rare handicraft one, Jonathan, you showed a few months ago, the one with the racing driver or whatever.
Yes.
The person was trying to get that, and they're like a heavy hitter. And they're just like, yeah, virtually impossible. Like, these are very, very sought after.
So yeah, that replies to the question. Yes, probably, Jamie.
Yeah.
Or have you contacted your AD?
No. I mean, you barely see some of these dome clocks. You see them here and there in, say, Sotheby auctions, but very rarely. Like they're not frequently, being resold. So, but yeah, I would love one, but it's just impossible. It's not going to happen.
Do we know if Patek Philippe does them in house, or if it's Lepi who is behind, for example, MB&F? Those crazy desk clocks, because Lepi usually is the place where people go when they want to have the
racing car and Lepi.
Well,
I think Patek I'd be very disappointed if they were doing it with Lepi. I think it's in house.
I think Russ will reply to that when he sees the show. So what I also find very remarkable here is that is cloisonné flanqué together with an engraving. So you may ask, what is flanqué? Basically, the base of the dial has a kind of guilloché pattern or engraving, and then is enameled on top. And here they make it even more complicated. So you see those rays here. That is the structure that is engraved on the dial and then covered partly with enamel. So that is the flanqué technique. And here they make it even better with I think that is cloisonné, and that train here is engraved. So it's a relief engraving here as well. So they combine those skills in a very creative kind of way.
What kind of a design would it take for you to seek out one of these, Jonathan, like for yourself? Because obviously these are very personal, right? Like, for somebody who's Japanese, this is very personal to them. For yourself to actually seriously consider a rare handicraft, like what would it take for you to be interested in something like this?
That one.
This one?
Yes. Totally love it.
I love that they're using the ellipse for this one. That's a really cool touch.
It's also, and I've been discussing with Benjamin Chi that usually you have a round dial and you have an image which is kind of square or rectangular. And then you have to ask yourself which elements of that image is fitting on the watch dial. And it must be even more complicated than with an ellipse. So I would say they chose the angle and the shape of that image so well. You don't have the feeling that anything is missing. It's just a complete image. Swis, are you back? No, I think Swis is still back on. I think he can add himself. So yes, so to reply to your question, that in my opinion is a typical Japanese motif, which I would wear without being feeling that it's tacky. We had that discussion with Ben when he showed his beautiful Celadon watches with those cloisonné enamel dials with the peacock, and that peacock was too Chinese to my taste, and I can see this is a Japanese motif but it's not so much in the face, in my opinion. So that is what I like about it.
Yeah, this watch is so romantic. Like the art that's on this dial, like you can just stare into it, and you're gonna go with your imagination. You know, standing on the bridge, the snow, the stars. That's just stunning.
Jamie and I, we've been discussing if those are snowflakes or stars. What do you think, Tanzil?
I think those are stars. Yeah, it's talking about a snow-covered landscape as the description, but I think that's under a starry night.
Yeah. I have a video of that dial being made.
Okay.
Just quickly, if I can pull it up.
Oh, 1 second.
How beautiful.
Yeah, you can see here the micro painting together with the cloisonné enamel.
Which should ensure that no two watches are the same, right? There's going to be some variation between them.
Oh yes, particularly when they do the micro painting. Yes. So, gentleman masterclass. Mark is in the house, and he says he saw this watch live at the Patek exhibition in Shinjuku yesterday. So, Mark, feel free to hop on and give us your first-hand impressions. I'm dropping the link, but we're a little bit envious of you that you've been able to see those marvels live, and those handcraft watches would be my highlight of this show.
Yeah.
So going a little bit further, we have here 2 minute repeater watches, and what is so special about those two is that they both have the AP signature. One second, I'll try to make it bigger.
Anita
Porsche made those 2 dials. So you see here the little AP here on the bottom and here on the side. So those 2 motifs are done by Anita Porsche, and everybody knows how special that is. Anita Porsche is the best enamelist alive. I'm hearing that she's now in charge of educating some enamelists just to pass her craftsmanship to the next generation, which is a very nice touch, I must say.
You find it interesting that they kept it clean. They didn't, you know how like on Patek enamel dials they put email on the bottom of the dial. They don't have it here, as far as I can see.
Here, not, but on the snow covered, they have it. Can you see it here?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's because the one that we just saw is done by Anita, and because it's done by Anita, she signed it. That's like a signature signing, whereas the other one might be just a generic enameler within Patek.
There was another enamel signed by JPC or something like that. Not sure if I can find that. There was another enamel dial out of that Patek exhibition which was signed, which I found remarkable, but I didn't know that. I couldn't find out the
I'd say my most important signature would be a guilloche dial, fiked up and signed JQH.
You wish. So yes, we there is also on the Patek Philippe main page, they made a beautiful. Why is that now showing up? There is a beautiful video on the Patek Philippe main page, which I'm gonna link, and to everybody who has the chance, go to the Patek Philippe main page and watch the video, because that introduces all those handcraft pieces with a beautiful kind of cartoonish movie in the background. So those figures that are part of that handcraft section are brought to life in that little video. So that video alone is a masterpiece of its own.
And she's got a good question for you and Jamie.
1 second. Angie asks, how long does it take to craft a cloisonné dial? Well, that is a very good question, and I would reply, depends a little bit how elaborate you're going. So it's not the cloisonné itself; it's also the degree of micro painting that you have. As a general rule of thumb, those cloisonné dials are fired up to 20 times in the oven. And to bend those cloisonné wires, it takes hours and probably days and weeks to finish those styles. And keep in mind, it's not only the time to make one, because during that process, many of those enamel dials are getting or are becoming dusty or damaged. And so the enamelist then must start all over again. So it's very difficult to put an exact number on an enamel dial because it depends a little bit how many attempts you have to do.
Well, that was a question I was going to kind of follow up on that, where when you had yours being created, right? Obviously, there was probably a degree of failure. Those failed pieces of the watch, like, is Sven Anderson just, are they just binning them, or is it something that they keep and you could purchase later? Because it would be a good story, right? Because you have this watch that you bought bespoke that, we all remember the Darwin chapter ring, and I'm sure that there was some failure in their production of your piece that, you mentioned that they may still have it. Do the brands offer them for sale if you chose to reach out to them and say, hey, I'd like to purchase them as part of the story of my watch?
So as an example, my dial, it was damaged during printing. So you can get an idea how a cloisonné dial is being produced by that picture. You see the golden wires, and then somebody is trying to put that enamel with a brush on. So my dial has been damaged during printing, so they had to start all over again, made it even better. And I know that dial is still with Anders Genève. And I've seen the dial, so they're showing it to their clients just to demonstrate what they are able to do. So my damaged dial exists, and I'm pretty sure I could buy it off them, but I would rather leave it with Anders and Genève just to give them a handpiece to help their clients out and give them ideas what can be done.
Yeah.
So with
the cloisons, so in French, that's partitions, right, Tan?
Yes.
Yeah. So the gold wiring is the cloisons, and then within you fill it with the enamel.
But I think cloison is more the enclosing, isn't it?
Yeah, the prisms, the partitions, the gold wires.
So there another with Darwin. Just 1 second, I try to make with Darwin. So because I approached Anders and Genève because I wanted to have that city ring with Darwin on, just like a kind of trophy, if that makes sense. So I called them maybe 4 or 6
I don't know if
weeks.
we would say a trophy, maybe a love song.
I see it as a trophy. Just nail it on the wall, in the wall.
Don't worry, Jamie. Next time he's going to put Kent on the dial, and then he's going to have a photo of you and remove Kent from it.
So, but with the city ring, it's different because Alex told me they just wiped it off and used the same city ring just for another attempt. So with the city ring, it's a little bit different than with the dial.
Now, Jonathan, are you going to explain to the viewers that there's an error on your dial? You are missing the center of the universe, which is North America, on your dial, right?
If you want me, I can explain that again. Is that really necessary?
Well, you're just missing the center of the universe. For most of us in North America, where we feel we're the center of the universe, we don't see the continent there on your world timer.
Well, that is a common accusation that I'm being faced to be the ignorant European, probably, which I am. The problem is, so that is the first drawing of my dial. And by the way, I'm trying to get that drawing because I want this drawing to be framed. So at the moment, I'm in the process of getting this particular drawing. So, but with that drawing, I try to explain again why the dial and the map looks like it looks, and why America is not on. So if you see those coastlines, those borders here, that is really delicate and very detailed. Now, if you imagine if you zoom out and try to incorporate the Americas, then everything gets a little bit unsharp, undefined, and those country lines are getting straight, and you don't see those shapes anymore well. You just have circles or something like that, and I didn't want to lose those details. So my goal, or what my order was, I would like, oh, we have Mark here in the house. Hello, good evening, Mark.
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me okay?
Very good, very good. Good to
Hey,
have
Mark.
you.
Hey, Mark.
Good morning.
Hey,
What is the time in Tokyo at the moment?
it's 5 a.m. I woke up and the moment I turned on the video, I just saw that watch on the screen.
Oh shit. Okay, we're going back to your watch in a second. I just wanted
Okay.
to finish the story here with my world timer. So my mission was to have the three important points on the dial, which is Hamburg, which is Hong Kong, and which is Bora Bora. And as you can see, all of them are basically covering the dial. So to zoom out, we would have lost detail, and that is
It's okay. It's okay, Higgy. I'll just tell Mrs. Higgins that you didn't want to put like Aspen on the dial, and it wasn't important, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Okay,
Mrs. Higgins is listening, so she probably hears it.
well, Mrs. Higgins was involved in that process
Nice.
very much so. Can't believe that. So, Mark, you've been visiting this Patek Philippe exhibition. Did you become a Patek fan now? Mark? Okay. Oh, we lost Mark.
Yeah, I think he dropped off.
Mark, please come back. Yeah, because Mark has bought his first Rolex now, and I would like to know a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be cool to hear if he bought it at an AD, or if he went, because I mean, Shinjuku has a ton of secondhand dealers. I mean, going to Tokyo, watch shopping in Tokyo is amazing.
Yeah.
Like just so many watch shops, and very, very passionate watch collectors over there.
Welcome back, Mark. Can you hear us?
Yes, sorry about that. I tried to hit the unmute button and then the screen just closed for whatever reason. I'm sorry about
We've all been there.
that.
So,
yeah,
Mark,
so about the exhibition itself, I've always kind of been a Patek fan. Not super crazy about it, but I've been crazy enough about it, to say the least. And the exhibition itself was quite nice because this is the largest exhibition that the brand itself has ever held anywhere inside the world at any point in time. And they had over 400 unique pieces on display. So you got to see things from their humble beginnings all the way up to present time. I mean, this was like the full spectrum. And they had dedicated rooms inside of this exhibition just for different aspects of the watchmaking or showing off a special feature. Like there was one room that had just pieces that had chimes inside of them and did musical numbers and all that stuff. And then there was another room, probably the first room that you could go inside of, that was full of artisans. And there was artisans there live, and you could see them doing things such as engraving or enameling, like painting a dial in front of you. And inside of that room, there was also micro wood. I can't even pronounce it right. Marquetry, enameling, guilloche, and all that stuff. And you could see all of those watches inside of that room. And I was looking at that very Japanese-inspired watch. There was quite a few of those things inside of there. It was really nice, man. It was really nice. I got video of it, but wow. To say the least, I tried to take a picture of every single watch inside of the exhibition, but with there being over 400, once I got 75% done, I just kind of gave up.
So I think you were tuning in when we showed this particular here, the snow-covered landscape. Was that also your favorite item on the show, or what hit you the
I
most?
had no favorite. It was overwhelming. I couldn't even tell you a favorite. But
So
I liked everything. Go ahead.
I think I've seen a video of someone painting this particular dial, and I think it was a Japanese lady. Can you say from the craftsmen that were there, were there mainly Europeans, or did they incorporate?
They were mainly Europeans, and I think at one point in time there was a Japanese person there, because I had went to this exhibition twice, last Sunday and then yesterday, which was Saturday.
Mhm.
But yes, it was mainly Europeans there.
Mainly Europeans, yes. So which was the craftsmanship that fascinated you the most? Was it the enameling or the engraving, or?
It was, oh man, ooh, that's tough. I mean, enameling is close to something that I do, because I'm an artist, not like I work on watches or anything like that. But I'm saying, you know, painting is too much close to home for me, so that's nothing special. So when I see a skill that I can't do, such as engraving, yeah, it's quite impressive. And the wood marquetry is nice.
Yeah, the wood. So looking on Patek's Instagram, they've got a video on wood marquetry, and when you see the effort that goes into that, the detail, you can really appreciate. Yeah, wood marquetry is probably the winner for me.
Yeah, it was very nice to take a look at that.
Have a look how small those pieces are that they are piercing out, and you have to.
I wasn't allowed to really record video, but I kind of did it anyways, up until the point where, you know, the staff had to come up to me and say stop. But at that point in time, I already got the footage. I got some footage of this guy cutting out little small flowers. I mean, these things were about as micro as you can get, and it looked really good.
It's just amazing what those people can do.
Right.
Here you can see the engraving, which is partly covered with enamel. Oh, that is one of my favorite pieces. Here you can see the engraving of the train after it has been enameled. So there is a free spot.
And it's such a small. It's like what, a few centimeters at best.
Yes.
You know what? If it was me here in front of the microscope, I would always tell myself, "Don't fuck it up! Don't fuck it up!"
They hit a little bit of a glass barrier in front of you. In fact, what we're looking at now, that is from the exhibition show floor, because they had those small monitors behind them. I guess they recorded this at a point in time where customers were not inside, either before or after the show had ended. But yeah, that's there on the spot at the exhibition. But there is a glass barrier right between you and them. But yeah, I guess if you really wanted, there was a little small space, you could have just reached your hand and underneath and just grabbed it and ran with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it well attended? Like the
it
exhibition?
was well attended. It was so many people there on both days that I went that, yeah, it became overwhelming. You know, it became a headache to navigate through at some points in time.
Yeah.
Because you're waiting for the person in front of you to move so that you can just take a quick photo, and they're standing there for like 3 minutes. It felt like time on end, just waiting for them to leave.
Yeah. And then you're a little bit conscious when it's your turn that you're holding other people up.
Yes. Oh, I was very time conscious, but yeah, not everybody was.
Are you cutting a video out of what you taped there, or?
Oh, I will. I'll be doing that all day today. That's what I'm waking up to.
Okay. So did you order something right on the spot?
I wish if they would let me, I would have. But the interesting thing is that the VIP customers were there, and it's like they had their own personal chauffeur showing them around at different pieces, like I guess trying to entice them on what's going to be their next piece to buy. And there were so many of these VIP customers and chauffeurs walking them around. Yeah, it was too much money walking around that place for me, man. It really was.
I tried to post your channel, but he took my fucking wrench. What the fuck?
I took your wrench. I will give you a wrench.
What the fuck, man?
I didn't take your wrench. No,
you took it.
No, you got the wrench on my on my other channel. You never had a wrench here, but I'm gonna wrench.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Were we going to transition to Gentleman Masterclass's Rolex that he just got?
Oh
no, I didn't just get that. That was I don't know. That was like a year ago now.
Did you get that?
Yeah, that was about a year ago.
Did you get it at an AD in Japan, or was it from one of the?
No, I wish. Japan is probably the hardest place to get a watch at. If you're not an already established customer, I don't even think they really want to see me.
Jimmy, can
see
you
anybody?
Comment?
No, I don't. Don't do it, mate. I don't want the wrench. It's okay.
Then don't.
But it was more so just that Mark's going to release a video about the Patek, and just following on from this discussion, I'm sure people are going to want to watch it. So I put the link for his channel.
Yeah, I put the link to Mark's channel already in the comments. So please subscribe to Gentleman Masterclass. That is the title of your channel, correct, Mark?
Yes, that's correct.
So nice. Did Marcelo enjoy the day at the exhibition? Did he enjoy it?
Yeah, yes, he did. We were able to make one live video there together as co-hosts, talking about our experience there. And then I shot a lot of B-roll footage that I could use to make a solo video just to kind of showcase the place. Yeah, I think I got it covered pretty well, to say the least.
Oh, man.
It's going to be really overwhelming making this. Yeah, I'm excited to put it together to see what it looks like at the end.
So you've been there once alone and once together with Marcelo, is that correct?
Yes, I've been there twice.
And did you celebrate then the exhibition later with some steaks at his restaurant?
I wish that guy was busy at his shop. He had so many bookings for yesterday that I didn't even decide to go to the restaurant to bother him some more.
Oh, that's good to hear, because there were other times where his place was not so well booked. So apparently everything is picking up now in Japan as well.
Yeah, it is. It truly is. And I bring that guy some good clients as well. And in fact, yeah, I shouldn't even say that. All right, never mind.
Do you know if the Patek Philippe boutiques are doing special things in Tokyo just to pinpoint to that exhibition? Have you seen some special decoration or something that connects to that exhibition?
Yeah, what you see on the flyer. Well, okay, I got to explain the flyer itself. The flyer itself has the title of the exhibition, and it's a purple flyer. Yeah, that's it right there. It's a purple background with a gold font. And when you go in front of the boutiques or the ADs, they might have some flags or some posters on the outside glass of the shop showing that flyer, kind of pointing you to attend this. And I guess they tell all their VIP customers as well to attend.
Yeah, there will be events alongside this. So I think Thierry Stern, in fact, I know he was. I've seen a picture of him at the event, maybe for a few of the days. So yeah, there definitely would have been dinners and drinks and all sorts going on. John Reardon flew in, as you know, anyone would have come along for this event.
I'm just pulling up something that I researched prior to this show. There was an event in 2017 in New York, and they had also those artisans who were doing then those micro paintings, cloisonné and everything like that. And my point being was those little pebble-shaped dome clocks, which we're just about to see.
Well, that's a big benefit too, right, Jonathan, with the events, the exhibitions going on the road, because when you go to the museum, you don't really see this at the museum. The museum is more of a historic,
Mm.
lineage of not only Patek's lineup but other watches. But when you go to the exhibition, like you're getting a lot more, in my opinion, than going to the museum. Where in my story, like before I was a Patek collector, like it was, that's where I got my appreciation for the art of what they do was at the museum. But I think this is even more intense. And I think, for Mark to go there and just be getting into the brand, I think this is definitely going to put him in the right direction in terms of the kind of artwork that they provide.
I think it's also a question of space, because that exhibition is much bigger than the Patek Philippe Museum from a space perspective, with different rooms.
Yeah, it's also it's the investment, right? Patek has had a tradition of attending, shows and exhibitions since even the time of when, Adrian Philippe and Anthony Patek were themselves running the corporation, right? They would travel to New York and they would go into these exhibitions and sell their watches off of their craftsmanship, right? So it is keeping up with their tradition, and definitely a really cool thing to see, because you're not really seeing other watch brands doing something on this scale to really showcase their kind of work.
Yeah. And they're not just, Patek isn't just doing it. I mean, it looks like they're doing it, and they're doing it phenomenally well. This event looks incredible.
Yeah, I was about to say that, and Tanzil will go after me, because Muki will probably tape that. And I will give Patek a non-limited kudos for having those crafts, those rare crafts, for cultivating them for many years, and for making them popular, and trying to teach the people how special those things are. And I would say Patek Philippe is the only company who has been constantly doing that. For example, Vacheron Constantin, they have now their cabinetiers, but that was dormant for quite some time, while Patek was always pushing those and always creating those special pieces. So I will credit Patek for that uninterrupted history and continuity for what they're doing.
That was beautiful.
Did you like that?
That was stunning. Those words.
I was about to say, Mookie, if you're listening, put that into like a rap. Put that into a rap video or something. We'll call it the Higgy rap for.
You should join me sometimes in the Shadowlands. So probably it is a refreshing experience, and you're coming back reborn, totally brainwashed.
Totally Swiss watch lover, like yes. Completely brainwashed. I love it.
Those words that you just said, I imagine the backing tune would be, the heart will go on.
The moment I put them out, I already regretted them, because I knew that you're listening and you will use that against me.
It's interesting, because like when I show like people who aren't so crazy about watches, my Pateks, and I try to describe why I purchased that. Like I have a friend who's kind of new to the hobby, and he's all Rolex hype, right? Daytona, Pepsi, everything. Like he's like, well, why would you buy this? I go, it's not people don't know what it is. Why would you buy this? And it's like, well, I'm buying it because I appreciate what kind of craftsmanship that they're putting into it. And I like the fact that I know what it is and I can appreciate it. And maybe, 99% of the population don't. right? And it's really, I find that more interesting about the brand than, you know, having to show off that I'm wearing a Panda Daytona, for example.
I think that is a very important point that you're just bringing. And Jamie will, I'm pretty sure he will confirm that we're buying those things for us. And when you know a little bit about that craftsmanship, it's really a different level of enjoyment than just owning a hype piece or
yeah. I mean, Jamie could have bought like 3 hype pieces with the price of his, you know, cloisonné dial world time, right? Like, it's
I've had hype, I've had the Hulk, I've had the Aquanaut, but this is just pure love, knowing that multiple people have sat in front of those workstations working on it. I mean, there's so many hours and effort that's gone into those pieces, and
well, not only that, yours is a unique piece, right? Because everything's going to be a little different. So there isn't going to be. You have the 5131 or the 5231.
5231.
Right. So you have the newest one. So like there isn't going to be another 5231 out there that looks exactly like yours, right? So that in and of itself, you know, has a specialty to it that, you know, every Rolex that's milled out is pretty close to being the same, right?
Off the CNC machine.
I can see from the comments that Swis is following us, because he made that remark here, clock on the right looks like a poop on the ground. I just wanted to pull those up just to prove my point that even 2017 they exhibited those kind of clocks with a flanque enamel technique. So it's not something new. This is also something that Patek is really cultivating.
We're looking at photos from a 2017 exhibition right now.
Yes, 2017.
Oh, it looks like yesterday's.
Yeah,
I thought it was. Okay, wow. It looks looks the same.
2017.
And those are some really nice photos too.
Yeah, from New York, so American inspired motifs.
So 17 was New York, and then after New York, it was Singapore.
Yes,
and then now it's hit. Yeah, and then Japan. Yeah.
Just imagine. So I'm pretty sure that some of those artisans are already working for the next exhibition, because putting together all those pieces with a certain theme requires a lot of planning and a lot of time to get those ready. So I'm pretty sure they're planning and working already on the next exhibition, I would guess.
For sure, it's going to take 3-4 years before something comes off the end of the conveyor belt. These things take time, but before Tokyo, Singapore, New York, London, Munich, and then Dubai. That was the working it backwards, the chronology of these exhibitions.
Because Jamie, I was thinking, do you think that they're going to continue down the road into Asia, maybe doing a Hong Kong, or do you think that they may go, because like they haven't done a South America, and they had a strong tie to South America in the past, right?
Oh, yeah.
So maybe doing like a one in Rio
Brazil.
or something like Brazil, exactly, with the gondolo connection to Brazil, right? Like I wouldn't be surprised if they, but again, it's also the market size, right? Like is South America really a big enough market, or do they go back to the States, for example, to do another show maybe on the West Coast, right?
So would you be keen into seeing Grandmaster Chime Alpaca edition?
Oh, for sure. It has to have the fur as well, like on it.
Has the strap is made of vicuña.
I'd love to hear like Jonathan like describe how much he loves the design of the alpaca, and like how its face has the proper expression, and just the amount of hours that went into it. Like fuck, I would die to see a show like that.
And the face has been designed with the golden ratio and everything.
Swis, you starved Jonathan so much that he's become a Swiss watch lover now. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I gave Patek Philippe compliments for
Swiss left for so many weeks until Jonathan finally caved and said Swiss watches are good, and then Swiss came back.
Yeah, no, Swiss. Actually, I could only say that when Swiss was absent, because it would have been an embarrassing moment for me if he heard it live. It was embarrassing enough that Jamie Opulence was listening to it.
Yeah, guys, I need to hop off. But it's been an absolute pleasure, and I just love what we talked about this evening. So
thank you very much for joining us, Jamie. Don't be a stranger. Please come back.
Yeah. Cheers. See you guys. Bye bye, Tanzil.
See you,
Jamie.
Ciao.
Bye.
Take care.
Tanzil, are you a moderator here on the Swis Jon Show? Do you know that? Can you leave a comment?
No, I have a wrench. Yeah, you took Jamie's wrench and you gave it to me. So
yeah. Well, Jamie, I apologize. Tanzil was giving me the most money, so
yeah. I was like, you didn't read my super chat. You're like, I'm not monetized.
Okay, so I think we reached the end of the line here, unless we have something important missing, Tanzil.
No, I think we were just talking about, like, because you were talking about métier d'art, right? And we were describing Patek and how they do it, and you kind of contrasted with Vacheron's métier d'art. And I do like a lot of their pieces, like the pieces they did, the historic pieces of like ancient Persia and stuff. I thought those were cool. And would I buy one? I don't know, maybe, but I can appreciate the kind of work that they put into their métier d'art as well.
Oh, totally. And for many years we've been talking about this is a dying art, and I'm still not sure if the new popularity for those arts is bringing new artisans, or if it's really a dying art. So I hope that those exhibitions are bringing new people, new blood to those arts, and people get fascinated about it, and not only buying it, also to create that.
Yep, absolutely.
So Patek is not only exhibiting what they are able to do, but probably acquiring some new talents, which would be amazing.
It's just interesting to see the kind of difference in the strategy and the philosophy of the brand, right? Because in my mind, I was just thinking about Lange and how they do it differently, and how they present their products differently, and they don't try to be like other people, right?
Mhm.
And just like Patek is not trying to be like anybody else, they're just like, we want to keep our traditions, and that's all we care about, right? Like there's less of pressure from the industry to go a certain way, and they just are seemingly not wanting to do that, which is it's pretty admirable.
I agree with you. I think the headline of Patek Philippe, we do those amazing handcraft items. Doesn't matter if our movements are far under scaled. So we just continue and move on. That's something very good.
Oh, Swis just calls it marketing. Black polishing, mirror polishing. Swis is just like, it's all marketing.
It's all, guys, we live in the matrix. It's all a facade.
You missed Alex from Perpetual Time just give me an Higgy shit. He's like, you fuckers have been arguing about this for 2 months. Like, he's like, you two need to get a life. You're arguing about
I thought you really said that.
Yeah, I thought he was siding with me, and he was just, are you guys serious? So, Mark, do you have one more day to go and visit that exhibition? Will you do it again tomorrow?
Yeah, that's today.
Today?
Yeah, it's today that I'm actually living in. I was thinking about it, but I'm not sure if I will. I think I got everything that I needed out of that. Yeah, there's really no purpose for me to go back to that after going twice. I think I got video and or 61 megapixel photos of pretty much everything that I could. So I think I'm good. I'm good.
And it may be packed tomorrow, last day on a Sunday.
Yes, I think it would be. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a lot to take in. All right. Yeah, we could wrap up.
So yeah, thank you very much for spontaneously hopping on, Mark. I really appreciate your input and taking us with you on the exhibition floor. Swis, do you have any final famous last words?
Nope.
Tanzil.
Patek is the best.
Ah,
Hey, you gave me the final word. I'm gonna use it. So
no, it's okay. You're our special honored guest here. So
I couldn't believe it. I was like, because Higgy's like, I'm doing a Patek show. I'm like, what? Is this some kind of a ruse to get me to hop on? You're just gonna speak about German watches all night? Like
it was all Jamie's idea. However, he denies it. So, but it was his idea. I'm gonna share the screenshots. No, I'm not gonna do that. Okay, so yeah. I think we are saying goodbye to the audience, to everybody who watched. We were so focused on pulling everything up that I couldn't say properly hello to everyone. Thank you very much for following us. I see Lone Star here after a very long time joined us. Oh, Goldfinger was asking me about this story of Simon Brett. So Simon Brett, I contacted him via the web form. I was trying to contact him via Benjamin Chi. I finally received a reply with a questionnaire, just like how much would you down pay for a watch? What is your favorite case material? So I submitted that survey, and I'm now waiting to hear back. So Goldfinger, apparently you're far further because you told us you're going to get one. I hope that I'm going to get one maybe in the next 10 years. But I will keep you guys updated, and Goldfinger, please keep us updated about which material
that's a good troll material for us tonight on the Archie Show, is going through your questionnaire. How much would Higgy down pay for a watch? Maybe like €200. What's Higgy's favorite material? German silver, right? Like we'll have a bit of fun with that.
Hardened poop, exactly.
So yeah, we have Danger Will Robinson here, like always in the house. Jay Gray Sweater, Thomas Burnett, OC was dropping a comment. Not sure if he's there anymore. Watches 63. Hello, America was in the comments. Hello, and thank you very much for tuning in. Aunt G, Danger's wife, we have here. Roar of the Tiger. Dodger, we had here in the comments. So thank you for Whole Milk in the end. So Simon Brett is sold last week. Now we have Hervé Schluchter. I've seen the watch. We may cover that a little bit later. I'm not super excited about it. Have you seen that, Swis?
Nope.
Okay, so maybe we're going to prepare ourselves for the next show. So yeah, I'm going to run the banner, the intro or the extra. Thank you very much for joining us. Hope to see you very soon again. I hope that Benjamin Chi had a good night, and yeah, we'll see you very soon again. Bye-bye.